Hey everyone, it's Miss Kat here to talk today about putting in and all of the skills that it takes just to put an item into a container. And what we're going to be using today is they're all items that you find around the house. So we've got bottle caps, we've got milk jug lids, we've got cotton balls and toothpicks and various empty food containers. So let's start with our first one. This is just an old lettuce container. I put some colored tape to show that this is where the hole is in the container. Into that slot, you could do milk jug lids. You could do cut up pieces of paper. With both, you're using a lateral pinch. With the other hand, with your left hand, you can hold the container while the right hand, or whichever hand is your student's dominant hand, can put in. So you could have the items here, and they're crossing midline, and they're putting in. Another example of putting in is using, these are just bottle caps, but you could also use coins. You could use dried pasta, anything you have around the house. And again, I cut out a hole to make it small. That makes it a little harder. So for your kids that have pretty good dexterity, this is a good challenge for them. And again, they're holding it with one hand, they're reaching across midline, and they're putting it into the container. If their dexterity is not quite as good, you can take the lid off, and then you have this whole opening to use. And then you could use bigger items. Instead of bottle caps, you could use toy cars or anything that you have at home, big Duplo blocks. And again, you're holding with one hand, you're reaching with the other and crossing over midline and putting in. So you're doing bilateral integration and crossing midline. And another thing you could do cotton balls. Same thing, and you could put the lid on that has the hole in it to increase the challenge. Another one for a little bit of a harder challenge. These are for our kiddos that do have a little bit more dexterity. This is using toothpicks, and this is an old seasoning container. So the seasoning container has these holes built into it. So your student could hold the container and put these toothpicks in through the holes. Similar example, but a little bit easier. The holes are a little bit bigger. This is just a little sprinkles container, so the holes are a bit bigger. So you could use straws, you could use Q-tips, you could, again, use toothpicks and stick in. So just like with all the other activities, you're using bilateral integration, using both hands together, and you're crossing over midline as you pick up the item and you bring it over to the other. And I think that's it for our lesson today. We'll be back for more. Bye, guys.